Welcome to our broadcast at this hour. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. The sign language interpreter at the bottom end of the screen is Lensa Odingo. Stick around for the next 1 hour or so to get the latest in the country and beyond our borders. We start off with a function that is currently ongoing in Kakamega County, where the remains of the late Malava Member of Parliament, that is Malulu Njendi, will be interred at his rural home in Lukusi Village, Kakamega County. President William Ruto is among the key leaders attending the funeral of the late legislator who died on February 17th at Nairobi Hospital. Malulu was serving his third consecutive term in Parliament before his death.
Heshima sote tuketi. Inafuata sasa ideolojia ambayo itasomwa na yule ambaye ameteuliwa. Tafadhali.
It is a function that we're keeping an eye on. Already the head of state, among other high-ranking government officials, are already there in Kakamega. As and when the head of state starts speaking, we'll be taking that particular link. But also in other news, authorities in Kilifi County have rescued 30 children from a children's rescue center operated by a coup allegedly without proper authorization. Led by Malindi Assistant County Commissioner Irene Munyoki and Malindi Sub-County Children's Officer Sebastian Muteti, the multi-agency team stormed the facility and shut it down following a tip-off from members of the public. The proprietors of the alleged illegal children's rescue center are being held at the Malindi police station. The rescued children are being housed in children's home in Sabaki Ward as authorities work to reunite them with their families.
Dokumenti ambayo tumehandover hapa leo ni kuhakikisha ya kuwa county government inaweza kuresettle squatters, inaweza kuangalia zile lease ambazo zime-expire ili kuweza kuleta mbinu tofauti kwa Kilifi County iweze kuendelea mbele. Hususan ni kuhakikisha county inaweza kucollect revenue katika county yake.
Moja ya mradi ambao tuko nao ni kuhakikisha kwamba tunawatrain vijana. Kwanza tunawezesha vijana wapate ardhi. Na wakipata ardhi tunawatrain vijana waweze kuitumia kwa mbinu za kisasa za ukulima ili waweze kupata ajira.
Tuko na mikakati mingi inaendelea, bado tunataka tuende kwa public participation. Tunataka kuwa na mkutano na viongozi wa MCAs wa county assemblies so that sote tuwe line moja katika mchakato huu.
Now, a strange disease outbreak has hit Tabaka Ward in Busia South, Kisii County, putting the lives of residents in 3 villages at risk. The ailment, whose symptoms include diarrhea, vomiting, headache and stomachache, has reportedly persisted for more than 2 weeks now, with over 100 residents said to be affected.
When it first broke out 2 weeks ago, residents of Nyebigege and Amarondo villages confused the now mysterious disease for malaria infection. They also thought the source of water from a protected spring could have triggered the outbreak of the strange disease.
Mwanzo nilianza pains, mgongo, miguu, kichwa, joto. Sasa kuhara ndio imeanza. Nikapewa madawa ingine kama Frachil. Nimetumia bado sijaacha.
Maina Okumeria, whose wife suffers from the disease, says there has been no respite despite several hospital visits.
Lazima serikali ingilie ndani, iangalie, ichunguze ugonjwa umetoka wapi. Sababu wengi wakienda hospitali, shida yani hiyo nini signs it's the same.
Josephine Odira and her family too contracted the disease.
Paka leo naona malaria bado imeshidi, hiyo joto imeshidi, kukohoa imeshidi. Kuhara imeshidi. Kila mtoto analia tumbo, mama yao anatabika, Mwingine akionja hata kitu kidogo, hata kama uji, anatabika.
According to Ministry of Health officials led by Area Sub-County Medical Officer Dr. Walter Mokamba, over 100 people have been affected by the disease. They suspect it may have been caused by water contamination.
The KBC County government has collected samples which they have taken to the government chemists. We are expecting the result by today or tomorrow so that we can ascertain what is the cause. As per now, the disease is well managed, and what we are urging our people is that they boil water, they seek medical treatment they don't avoid self-medication.
Meanwhile, Kisii County Senator Richard Onyonka is calling on the Ministry of Health to urgently deploy more health officials to tackle the mysterious disease. Joseph Wahungu for Lunchtime News.
Elsewhere, a night guard stationed outside a laundry shop in Mudhini area of Machakos town, Machakos County, was murdered by robbers who made away with goods of unknown value. Machakos DCIO Nzioka Singhi assured residents that the authorities will ensure the perpetrators are brought to book and urged them to report any suspicious characters. This as the residents call on the security apparatus to intensify patrols following a series of robbery incidents.
Chazamba security iongezeke. Patrol iwe kali sana hapa. Patrol ndio tunataka kabisa security. Sio mambo ati tunaona askari hapa saa 3 saa 4 wanapotea.
Machakos naomba waangalie jambo na washughulikie ni nini litendeka, kwa sababu hiyo si jambo nzuri. Mtu ako kazi ameuawa na kazi ya mwenyewe imevunjwa. Kwa hivyo security Machakos iangalie kitu isitendeke kwa wengine hapa tena.
Tunajua wale wamefanya hivi ni maduku zetu, tuko nao kwa manyumba, si ni kweli? Ukipata jambo ile inaweza tusaidia, tafadhali kuja unione. Sawa sawa. This ukijaribu leo ama kesho itakukosti na tutajua ni wewe unafanya hii maneno. Sawa sawa. So tusaidiane. Security begins with you and me. Usisema ate polisi wako wafanye kazi yao.
Now, as the world marks World Engineering Day, women engineers across the country have taken a step to mentor junior secondary learners, equipping them with knowledge about engineering to inspire future careers in the field. Speaking during a mentorship program at Utumishi Sacco Primary in Kitengela, Institutions of Engineers of Kenya CEO Engineer Maureen Ouka emphasized that the initiative aims to encourage more girls to take up STEM subjects and make informed career choices. The mentorship program led by women engineers seeks to bridge the gender gap in engineering, where female representation remains significantly low.
In junior secondary school, this is a phase where they need to know the career options they are willing to take, the career options that are available, and IK, in collaboration with our partners, decided to come and give the students a chance to understand what engineering is all about. I'd like to urge our partners to collaborate with us and offer more mentorship, not only just to the girl child, but also to the boy child, on the importance of career selection and the options that are outside there.
Elsewhere, the Kilifi County government, in collaboration with stakeholders, has drafted a bill designed to address, among others, the squatter issue and promote investment. The bill also seeks to promote efficient land use by designating parts of the county for agricultural, industrial, residential and community purposes. During a stakeholders engagement forum in Kilifi County, Kilifi Governor, that is Gideon Mungaro, stated that the county land policy draft bill, which will be open for public participation this week, includes the creation of a land fund. This fund will be used to purchase land from absentee landlords and other parties to help resettle squatters.
County government inaweza kuresettle squatters, inaweza kuangalia zile lease ambazo zime-expire ili kuweza kuleta mbinu tofauti kwa Kilifi County iweze kuendelea mbele. Hususan ni kuhakikisha county inaweza kucollect revenue katika county yake.
Moja ya mradi ambao tuko nao ni kuhakikisha kwamba tunawatrain vijana. Kwanza tunawezesha vijana wapate ardhi, na wakipata ardhi tunawatrain vijana waweze kuitumia kwa mbinu za kisasa za ukulima ili waweze kupata ajira.
Tuko na mikakati mingi inaendelea, bado tunataka tuende kwa public participation. Nataka kuwa na mkutano na viongozi wa MCAs wa county assemblies so that sote tuwe line moja katika mchakato huu.
Residents of Angurai Eastward in Teso North Sub-County, Busia County are said to benefit from a 24 million shilling county government project aimed at addressing acute water shortage in the area. Area member of the County Assembly, David Parapara, says the project involves the construction of 2 water tanks, one with a capacity of 50,000 litres at Kolanya and another of 100,000 litres at Oshoromo Hills in Chamasire area.
Line ya mwisho ya piping tunaelekea sasa Changara. Naamini ya kwamba by the end of this month tutakuwa tumefika Changara, na nikiwa na imani ya kwamba contractor atakapomaliza kazi hii hasa kwa ajili ya kiangazi ambaye ni kali kweli, ya kwamba maji haya yaweze kuwa pumped, wananchi waweze kupata maji, wachache ambao watakuwa wamevuta waweze kupata maji, tupunguze msongamano katika mito zetu mahali ambapo tunachota maji kwa sasa hivi.
The Kenya wildlife conservation efforts are not just saving endangered species but also transforming communities. In Baringo, a conservancy that was once a battleground for warring communities is now a thriving wildlife sanctuary. Here is Alvin Kaunda with the details of how conservationists are racing against time to protect Kenya's wildlife.
Years, the Ilchemas and Pokot communities have clashed, forcing schools to close and threatening wildlife, including the endangered Rothschild's giraffe. Ruko Conservancy in Baringo County stands as a symbol of transformation. Once marred by inter-community conflicts between the Ilchemas and Pokot, it is now a thriving conservation zone. The once endangered Rothschild's giraffe population has grown from 7 to 29 thanks to peaceful coexistence. Camera traps monitor wildlife and strict conservation policies prohibit weapons and deforestation, turning the region into an economic hub.
Reason mbona hiyo camera traps imeletwa ndio community waone they are part of the conservation. How can we do that? Kwa kuredeem ile points zenye tunapata kwa wildlife, and each wildlife has its own points. Na hapo ndio tuna redeem alafu tunafanya ikuwe benefits through money.
In Laikipia and Nyandarua, World Wildlife Day was marked with urgent calls to protect the grey-crowned cranes. The Kenya Wildlife Service says poaching, wildfires and habitat destruction remain a challenge to the protection of birds.
Because of this species is encountering a lot of challenges in the field. That is why we want to bring the community on board to assist us in uplifting the population which is declining.
Uasin Gishu leads in crane numbers, with Nyandarua and Laikipia following closely with 969 and 750 respectively. Yes. Conservationists are now pushing for the birds' protection under the Single Species Action Plan launched in Marigat, Baringo County.
We still face pressing challenges that include habitat loss, human-wildlife conflict, downsides related to climate change, and need for sustainable financing.
And in other news, residents of Murang'a County have called for streamlining of the Social Health Authority to deliver proper services to the people and ensure the availability of medicine. Speaking during the medical camp in Mathioya and Kiharu constituencies, Tessie Musalia and Ahadi Kenya Chief Executive Officer Stanley Kamau emphasized the importance of establishing dispensaries in every ward, arguing that this will bring medical services closer to the community and make health care more accessible for the residents.
If we want to eradicate jiggers fully in this country, we must empower the communities. And also I want to say this, that jiggers is not about a curse. It's not about witchcraft. Jiggers can be eradicated. And I want to say that I'm very, very happy to see the transformation, and this is the Anybody who wants to eradicate jiggers in this country, eradicate poverty, must come and learn from what we are doing so that we can be able to elevate the livelihood of these people.
Tulikuwa tumekuliwa na hizo funza sana, hata watoto tunashindwa kutafuta hata dawa, na yeye alikuja tukapewa dawa, tukaoswa, tukamwagiwa dawa kwa manyumba, kwa hivyo tuko sawa.
Tulikuwa tunakuja kuangalia 10 couples wale walifanya harusi, tukawasaidia, na ndio walikuwa affected by jiggers. More walikuwa criticals, but now walimejisimamisha sababu walipewa ng'ombe, walipewa kuku na walipewa basa.
Tumekuwa na baraka, watoto wetu wamepona, wameenda shule na wamama wameweza kujifanyia kazi. Shukuru pia Kamau daktari kwa kuweza kuingia hii area yangu ya kazi, na tukawa na maendeleo hiyo ya kuletea watu ng'ombe.
And of course, we want to keep an eye on various other stories that are making headlines at this hour. Currently, I want to take you live to the Kenya Medical Practitioners Pharmacists Dentists Union press conference that is currently happening here in the capital in terms of payment dues of workers, especially who are civil servants. Let's listen in to the KMPD officials who are currently addressing members of the Fourth Estate.
We have been very systematic and we have been very patient with the Ministry of State for Public Service, so that they can follow all these issues related to money on our behalf. And on SHA, I want to be very specific. The current leadership we have in SHA is weak. And if the government wants SHA to realize its obligations, we must press for the change of leadership of SHA. I've met the leadership severally, and I can today clearly declare that those who are trusted with running SHA in this Republic of Kenya lacks what it takes to lead that mega organization in our republic. There is no way we can have hospitals who are benefiting from SHA and the SHA management cannot use the resources we have, which we have entrusted in their hands, to negotiate with those hospitals to provide facilities to those who need those who need services. It's something we cannot take for granted. It's something we must act as a country. We want change in SHA management. Whatever we have currently is not serving the Republic, is not having any interest of Kenya at heart, because as we are talking today, we have a number of civil servants who are stuck in the hospital, cannot be discharged because of the payment of hospital bill. As we are standing here today, we have a number of civil servants who report to the facilities and turned back because they cannot be accepted in those facilities. And SHA know very well that we have an agreement.
Well, that was earlier on the KMPD officials addressing members of the Fourth Estate in regards to even civil servants unable to pay their way out of medical bills. Also, they have touched upon the Social Health Authority, clearly calling for change of leadership in that particular authority itself. And also, we're also keeping a close eye on a similar event where UHC health workers are holding peaceful demonstrations demanding employment on a permanent and pensionable terms, payment for their gratuity, among others, of their various unions. But elsewhere, Boda Safety Association of Kenya has threatened to issue a nationwide strike on Tuesday next week if the Motorcycle Regulation Bill 2023, sponsored by Senator Boni Khalwale, is not withdrawn. The association chair, Kelvin Mubadi, says there was no public participation in the formulation of the bill, which he argues directly impacts the livelihood of thousands of border riders across the country. He has called for dialogue and a more inclusive approach to policy making, urging Senator Khalwale to withdraw the bill and engage in meaningful consultation with all relevant stakeholders.
Na tunasema kwamba this bill is oppressive na haijazingatia maoni ya watu wa bodaboda. We were not involved in this bill. Alipokuwa anatengeneza hiyo bill, as the bodaboda sector, as the stakeholders, as the people that will consume the law, we were not involved. And we have several contentious issues. The bill is good. As the bodaboda riders, we want to follow the law. We support the government in everything they do. But there's some particular areas zenye Boni Khalwale aliweka hapo ambazo they are going to oppress our people. Number one, when you look at this bill, inasema kwamba everybody must have a tracker. Si vibaya kukuwa na tracker, but they want to force the track on us, and we are wondering, ule kama mtu hawezi fikisha hata shilingi 500 kwa siku, atatoa wapi pesa ya kununua hii track ambayo Bon Halwala anataka tuwekewe? When we look at this, the other issue yenye inatusumbua ni hiyo mambo yake yenye anasema fine ya 100,000. Boda people are poor people that wanapata from hand to mouth. They cannot get these 100,000 zenye Halwala anataka sisi tukue tunalipa kama fine.
Sisi already tuko mbele yako kwa sababu barua yetu imefika kwa bunge. Na kwa muda ya wiki mbili kama Nairobi County tumekaa vikao na wabunge wote wa Nairobi County. Tumejadiliana na wao na yale matakwa yote ambayo tunataka katika hiyo bill wameshaijua.
The Office of the Controller of Budget has proposed the integration of all systems managing government cash flows in order to efficiently track the debt register. Controller of Budget Dr. Margaret Nyakango was responding to concerns when she appeared before the National Assembly Liaison Committee on whether the country has adopted technology in budgeting. The debt register said Treasury has a debt tracking system but not integrated it with other systems, hence affecting management of cash flows. Nyakango said the office had visited Tanzania for benchmarking on how it records its debt, adding that Kenya ought to integrate all its system if cash flows are to be effectively managed.
Any plans, even from the Office of the Comptroller of Budgets, to bring in technology into the whole sphere of budgeting?
Tanzania is far ahead. They have a debt register that is so accurate. They have unqualified audit report as a debt office. They have integrated their debt register with their IFMIS, the IFMIS of that place. It is totally integrated. They have also integrated their HR system with the IFMIS. And they are already on accrual basis of accounting, as well as the Treasury single account. And so everybody in Tanzania, from parliament to police, all get their salaries the same day at the press of a button. So all their systems are integrated. Now, I can tell you that our treasury here has this system, but as a standalone, it is called Meridian. Meridian is a debt tracking, a public debt tracking system. But if it is not integrated with the other systems, then it cannot work. It still gives us piecemeal information. So in Tanzania, with their single treasury account, they are able to manage their cash flows in such a way that overdraft is a vocabulary they don't use. All the government cash flows are managed together. Indeed, we found that their debt is requisitioned 1 month in advance.
It is exactly 25 minutes past the hour. We need to take our first breather here on KBC's Lunchtime News. Don't go too far. We still have more for you on the other side, especially in the world of business.
Inua jamii karibu nawe kwa haraka na urahisi. Kwa sasa, malipo ya Inua Jamii yanapatikana moja kwa moja kupitia simu ya mkononi. Ikiwa wewe ni mmoja wa wanaopokea fedha hizi, hakikisha laini yako ina huduma ya pesa mkononi. Iwapo huna laini ya simu ya mkononi, tembelea duka la Safaricom au ajenti wa M-Pesa aliye karibu nawe ili usajiliwe kwa ada ya shilingi 100. Inua Jamii ni mradi wa fedha wa serikali unaolenga Wakenya walio na umri wa miaka 70 na zaidi, watoto yatima na watoto wanaoishi katika mazingira magumu na watu wenye ulemavu sugu, kwa kuwapa malipo ya kila mwezi. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako kwa niaba ya Wizara ya Leba na Huduma za Jamii.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now directly, let's take a look at what is happening in the world of business. You will watch, access more content, especially sports, on the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation platform if a bid by Canal Plus to acquire MultiChoice Group is sealed. A team from Canal Plus and MultiChoice Group were Tuesday morning at the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation KBC on a fact-finding mission about shareholders of MultiChoice Kenya. The Kenya Broadcasting Corporation chairperson Tom Shindi said the deal will open up local content to a wider audience.
The government of Kenya through the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation.
We believe in ecosystem, and this is why in all of our countries we have strong partnerships and links with the local producers and broadcasters, and first of them the national broadcasters that we have in all of our countries. So very happy to come for a courtesy visit with our friends and colleagues of KBC.
If sealed, the acquisition would transform Canal Plus as part of its expansion strategy in Africa, particularly in English-speaking regions. The deal is expected to benefit shareholders such as Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, with the audience reaping benefits of a diverse content.
It will provide with its synergies that will make it possible for this company now to acquire programs at a slightly less price than is currently possible, particularly programs that have to do with sports, because those are the key audience drivers that they will then also be able to make available to companies now like Kenya Broadcasting Corporation.
Mshindi expects the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation to benefit from infrastructural development, capacity building and strategic partnerships from the Canal Plus takeover of MultiChoice Group.
Most important for us was the assurance that with the new strategy that is coming up, with the capacity to acquire more programming, open up more viewers, we should be assured of an audience, of a dividend, which is really the biggest challenge that we've been having with the businesses currently as they are.
Canal Plus is expected to continue offering subscription-based services and premium content offerings if it seals the takeover deal of MultiChoice Group.
Importance of this is to grow what we currently have, to make sure that the preservation of local languages continue, and the enhancement of local cultures. And that's what Canal Plus also stands for. It's not about coming and giving a complete cultural overhaul. It's actually enhancing who we are, and of course in things like talent factory investment from a corporate social investment point of view will continue, because even on their part they have similar initiatives.
They were speaking after a consultative meeting at Broadcasting House that was attended by the management of the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, top officials drawn from the MultiChoice Group, MultiChoice Kenya and Group Canal Plus. Regina Manyara reporting for KBC Channel 1.
Thank you so much, Regina, for that particular report. We'll be also sharing various other stories that are making headlines in the world of business. But right now we're getting into our interview portion, and we'll be focusing on the Zuri Awards, of course, which will be held in the coming days. We do anticipate that particular award. Joining us to tell us about, even aside from that particular award, in terms of supporting women in this particular sector, you do know that the International Women's Day is just around the corner. It is on the 8th of March 2025. Joining us is Christine Kari, Program Officer at the Ministry of Public Service. Christine, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
And maybe we start on that note, Christine. You do know that 8th of March is nearly here.
Yes.
We'll be celebrating women not just in this particular country, but across the globe. What has, especially from this ministry, what have you done for women in this country?
Well, a lot, but very specifically, the liaison that we have is really to support any other people who come aboard with an agenda for women, specifically to just ensure that there's sustainable initiatives that women get to start across board, wherever they may be, grassroots, nationally, regionally. So there's a whole realm of support that is offered just to ensure that the particular segment of women and also girls who have any initiatives, that from our front we are able to just support them very, very strongly.
Yes. And in terms of entrepreneurship, given that is very key with these awards that you always give, entrepreneurship, when it comes to women, we know people have been saying it is a male-dominated sector. How have you motivated women to go into that particular sector?
That's a very good question. And 8 years ago, when those whole brainchild came out from Zuri, was really to look at that space in the terms of women are doing so much in their own spaces, from their homes, from their communities. And so Zuri thought, what about bringing a platform where this women can be able to access channels whereby whatever it is they're doing can be out there, accessible to many in terms of partnership, grants, and just even programs to do with motivation, just to make sure that they're on track. So from that rim, then Zuri ensures that that platform is made available to women of this country more specifically, just to make them more aware that there is support that they need whenever they are doing their initiatives. There is mentorship programs, there is an access to awards and partnerships that are out there, which most of them actually, from the time we start walking the journey with them, have no idea. Until Zuri comes along, earmarks them for whatever sectors, which we have many really. As we go on, we have almost 16 sectors where we support women across the grassroots to just raise them up and ensure that they are being sustainable in what they do.
Given that you are aiding all those sectors you've just talked about, what are some of the challenges you're witnessing so far?
Yes, most of the time, women face a financial challenge, access to finance for whatever it is that they're doing, because at any one point there will some economic perspective will emerge from what they're doing, regardless whether, for example, it's humanitarian, and those who go out to reach out to other people in one way or another, whether it is through transportation, their logistics, and even reach. And even like the way you're having us here, it's just one of the platforms that, again, that kind of challenge, which all revolve around finance of some sorts, is really what is major when it comes to women and their initiatives.
And what are some of the key recommendations have you put forth to address some of those challenges you're talking about?
Oh, there's been a lot over the years. So for example, women have always been encouraged. I said we have mentorship programs. So in those programs, then we will look at what it is that you're doing. What initiatives are this that women have come up with? So given your initiatives, we'll ask, so how do you intend? Or we look at it from a scalable aspect. We are here now, 5 years, where do you want to be? Help them out through strategic plans. Very carefully take them through to how growth is achievable. If this is solely on, say, most people in their initiatives right now from who come to Zuri are really starting as they just seek out to help and empower other women or other people in their community. So we asked to them, okay, so if this was available to you or these openings were available to you, we can expand that particular scope of how you do it, and we link them up with very many partners. There are so many people out there who are waiting to just see what people are doing for each others and for their own livelihoods. Very specifically, all this is in coordination with the Sustainable Development Goal number 5 for empowerment and equality for all women and young young girls. Yes.
And of course, given that we're coming to the end of this particular interview session, going forward, what have you also done, especially in motivating these young girls who are at the campus who are watching you right now, so that they can venture into those areas?
We have a whole set of impact analysis that we have right now that we actually seek out and bring out forth to many people who are involved in all this. So we actually have the nominations that are open every other year, that people can bring in their nominations, they can be nominated by other people, and also the impact level that is achievable right now. We're actually talking of over 92 nominees, over 200 awardees. We also have over 1,000 nominations. So that platform is huge, and there is more for just women. So there's that. We have social media handles and all these things. The social media is very good at this, to just make sure that that awareness comes out to all, especially what you have mentioned, those people at the universities who know that they need, who have things that they're doing. There's now a platform that we can use to channel all it is that they need, Bernie.
Now take a look at that camera. Give us your final remarks on this.
Inclusivity. Let's include women in all spheres of what we do, economically, socially, all these angles, have them business-wise, and they have a lot to offer, and they have demonstrated that very consistently and very well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is none other than Christine Curry, the Program Officer, the Ministry of Public Service. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. It is a conversation that is still ongoing with the Zuri Awards, of course, talking about and, of course, identifying women who are doing extraordinary things in various sectors across the country. To other news now, Kenya Power will spend 40 billion shillings in the next 5 years to modernize and revamp its infrastructure. Managing Director Engineer Joseph Siror says the investment will help stabilize power supply and cut system losses, which peaked to 23.65% in 2024. The company further says it is in the process of onboarding 2 more independent power producers as the utility firms plans to expand its network coverage to more undeserved communities in the rural Kenya.
Despite investing billions of shillings in network modernization systems, losses continue to haunt Kenya Power, where close to a quarter of all power transmitted is lost. Managing Director Joseph Siror says the growing electricity demand has prompted a shift towards increasing the country's electricity generation, which in turn will improve spinning reserves to the standard 15% level to cater for contingency scenarios that have increased in recent years.
If you look at the network size at the time of ready kilowatt, and right now, our network has expanded so much. But that is not to create an excuse as to us not being able to maintain the level of services. We are closing in. We have a very ambitious maintenance program, and we do know that it's just a question of time. Once we are done with the current processes that we are doing, you actually, the public, and already some segments of the public are already appreciating this, and they are already enjoying the benefits of a more reliable power.
In December 2025, Kenya Power reported a significant surge in electricity demand, reaching a record high of 2,316 megawatts, driven by factors like growing industrial activity, infrastructure expansion, and increased household connections across the country. Speaking during a meeting with the members of the Kenya Editors Guild, Siror says the increase in energy demand is putting pressure on power generation capabilities to meet demand. To address this, Kenya Power says plans are underway to invest in heavily modernizing the existing power transmission lines to handle increased demand and reduce grid failures. Additionally, the utility firm says it is onboarding 2 new independent power producers as it seeks to diversify the energy generation mix.
All the IPPs, and right now as we talk as a country, we really need them. And the reason is simply this. If you look at our peak demand, and I think O'Brien did allude to the same, our peak demand right now is 2316 megawatts. While when you look at what is called farm capacity, it's 2344.
The utility firm is in the process of implementing the last mile connectivity phases 4 and 5, which seeks to connect a total of 290,000 new customers to the national grid. Ndutamo Kami for Lunchtime News.
Those engaged on Beadwork should form or join groups to access financial support and training. Culture and Heritage Principal Secretary Umi Bashir says that the training will seek to equip them with the key skills to elevate their craftsmanship and ensure their products meet international standards.
The Ushanga Kenya initiative is a program established by the government to transform the traditional practice of bead making into a viable economic enterprise. A new training program is being rolled out targeting those in groups to empower them with skills and support to commercialize their trade.
An initiative coming up with the national government called the Sana e-commerce platform. This is an international market where it has different languages, almost 7 languages, and we are doing this whereby the women can sell their products even internationally.
Culture and Heritage Principal Secretary says the training will focus on, among others, value addition to beadwork products, blending of traditional beading methods with modern techniques, professional finishes, and standardization.
Once Sana e-commerce platform is up and running, it is low-hanging fruit for the women of Ushanga, because then with a cooperative, they can put money in their pocket directly, and we remove all the brokers and the middlemen who take up all the profit from these women.
From today, we are going to work hand in hand with Ushanga Kenya to make sure that Ushanga is not politicized, to make sure that our women are not exploited by some few individuals who say they are from Ushanga, but they are actually exploiting our women.
Frederick Muki for Lunchtime News.
And now across the globe, President Donald Trump has announced that the U.S. is moving ahead with a 25% tariff imposition on imports from Canada and Mexico. With the negotiations at a standstill, the tariffs are set to take effect on Tuesday. Wall Street reacted swiftly, with markets sinking on the news. Here are those details and other stories making headlines across the globe.
U.S. markets stumbled following President Trump's tariff announcement. The Dow dropped 1.4%, the S&P 500 fell 1.75%, and the Nasdaq slid 2.6%. In response, Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Joly confirmed plans for $107 billion in counter tariffs, with $30 billion hitting everyday goods immediately. Canada's foreign minister says the increased tariff by the U.S. was an existential threat, with thousands of jobs in Canada at stake. An additional 10% tariff on Chinese imports is also expected to come into force, leaving all of America's top 3 trade partners facing significantly higher barriers than just a few weeks ago. China also pledged to retaliate, accusing the U.S. for economic bullying. President Trump defended the tariffs as necessary to curb illegal drugs and immigration. Meanwhile, in a major setback for Reliance Industries and its partners BP Exploration and Nico, India's Petroleum and Natural Gas Ministry has raised a $2.8 billion demand in a long-running gas drilling dispute. This follows a February ruling by a Delhi High Court division bench against Reliance over gas extraction off India's eastern coast. Reliance, however, maintains that both the judgment and the demand are unsustainable and plans to challenge the ruling. The company had earlier stated its intention to appeal to the Supreme Court. Finally, the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi, has issued a strong warning against undermining the global nuclear non-proliferation framework, calling it a pillar of global stability. Grossi responded to growing discussion on European nuclear autonomy following shifts in U.S. policy. Addressing calls for countries like Germany, Poland, and Ukraine to develop military nuclear capabilities, he stressed that expanding nuclear arsenals is not the right path forward. Grossi urged world leaders to remain committed to diplomacy and strengthening the non-proliferation regime, particularly amid ongoing geopolitical tensions. Sylvia Gatti.
And now finally, welcome to the world of sports. Kenya Pipeline Women's Volleyball Club were dethroned by APR of Rwanda in the finals of the CAVB Zone 5 Club Championship in Kampala. APR beat Kenya Pipeline by 3-1 to be crowned the new Zone 5 champions. Pipeline had started well when they took the first set 25-20 before they made mistakes which a Rwandan club capitalized on to take the remaining sets 17-25, 24-26 and 23-25. Kenya Pipeline beat Sports S by 3 straight sets in the semi-finals to maintain their unbeaten run in the campaign, as APR beat KCB by the same margin in the other semi-final. All in all, there were some outstanding individual performances from, among others, Leonard Kasaya, who was named the best outside hitter, and Lois Simiyu, who was the best setter of the championship. The most valuable player was Diane of APR Rwanda. Elsewhere, triple Olympic 1500 meters champion Faith Kipyegon has been nominated yet again for the 2025 Lawrence Sportswoman of the Year award, where she hopes to emulate Vivian Cheruiyot, who won the award in 2012 after she won a silver in the 5,000 and a bronze in the 10,000 meters during the London Olympic Games and the Diamond League Trophy as well. Faith Kipyegon was outstanding last year when she became the only three-time Olympic 1500 meters champion in Paris Games after taking silver in the 5,000 meters won by Beatrice Chebet. The Olympic record holder also set a new world record in the 1500 meters and the mile. On her Facebook page, Kipyegon said she was honored to be nominated among other incredible women, adding that it was a true inspiration for all girls around the world. She has been shortlisted in the Lawrence Sportswomen of the Year award with Sifan Hassan, the Olympic marathon champion, as well as the bronze medalist in the 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters races, Simone Biles, who won 3 gold medals and a silver in gymnastics. Tennis star, that is Aryna Sabalenka, Sydney, as well as Lebron, who broke the world record in the 400 meters hurdles and won gold in the 4x400 meters relay, and Barcelona treble champion and Ballon d'Or winner Adriana Bonmati, who won the title last year. The year's Lawrence Sports Awards will mark the 25th anniversary and will not celebrate the present but honor the past as well as the future in that particular endeavor. And of course, that concludes our coverage this afternoon. But before we go, let me tell you the lineup of the Champions League this evening, given that the Champions League is back in the round of 16. Club Brugge will be taking on Aston Villa. PSV Holhaven will be welcoming Arsenal. Borussia Dortmund will be taken on Lille. And finally, it will be a Madrid derby at the Santiago Bernabeu, where Real Madrid are set to take on their neighbours, that is Atletico Madrid. That concludes our bulletin this afternoon. Do join us in our subsequent bulletins. My name is Abdiaziz Hashem. The sign language interpreter at the bottom end of the screen is Lensa Odingo. Good afternoon for now.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with your music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
Two and a half years after key policies were planted, is Kenya reaping the benefits?
Soko watu wanalia, hawana pesa. Sasa unabidi tu unarudi na kitu yako yenye umepeleka huko kwa soko.
Can the country return to the soil and harness its agricultural potential for food security?
Sababu ukiangalia mazao hakuna. Hata hii kilimo hii matunda ni siku moja tu.
Join us on Tuesday at 9 p.m. as you speak to Agriculture PS Dr. Kiprono Rono on government's progress in filling the country's bread basket.
The Shift, Tuesday at 9 p.m. on KBC Channel 1.
Time to get to kill the Monday blues. You are right in time for the biggest, the baddest entertainment show on this side of the Sahara. What's up?
That's what's up, man, yeah? Trust Music Award went down and a lot happened, yeah?
Yeah.
Extra pressure, baby girl, you know, man.
Umebucha hizo lyrics, but it's okay.
Nimezivuta, si ndio?
Umeziharibu.
Big shout out to our own BN, man. BN did the thing.
Yeah.
Kwa live performance.
Yes.
Alionyesha TZ that, you know, Kenyans still got it.
Kenyans have always gotten it, you know, we've got it for sure, and he got to bring the trophy home. That is Best Artist Eastern Africa, so kudos to him. Now, a lot has been happening. That weekend has been a really, really busy one, and we as Grapevine did what we do best. We ensured to cover it for you. Yes, and we will be letting you know everything that happened over the weekend.
That's what's up, Miss Me. I just want to give them a snippet of, you know, what they should expect. Banner Boy in the 254. Also to gonna Snap Social, among other events.
Yeah.
So relax, yeah? Sit back, relax, because we got you.
We got you for sure. My name is Vivian Dago. You can simply just call me Miss V.
Jack Muller, the party daddy.co.ke, aka your girlfriend got my website.
And you know what this right here is.
Grapevine.
What you gotta do. The Uhuru Gardens is where I am coming to you from for an experience. That is the Mad Fun experience. And guess who is